Cail, did you feel that your team sort of continued to, sort of be more involved in the game today, even if the execution level might not have been there to the extent that you might have wanted?
Yeah, I thought that the guys battled pretty hard today. Couldn't find a way to solve Comrie early, but for the most part, despite being down 2-0, I thought that we stuck with it pretty well. Gave ourselves a chance at the end. Didn't like the way it ended up there, but I thought that the guys managed through some big penalty kills and found a way to stay, in a tight game. Just couldn't find that extra one.
Right, and obviously with Emilio getting back on the board, I think it's his first goal in looks like about 10 games. And obviously as an AHL rookie, it's an up and down affair for anybody coming into the league. And how do you think he has managed it in first go this year?
Well, I think that he's done a lot of learning. I think that he's done a really good job of competing all year in terms of he's taken some steps in terms of learning some of the elements of competing in the pro game, that you have to really pay attention to the details every night, making sure that you get in front of bodies all the time and you're responsible to eliminate people from the play all the time. Your team can work together, and I think that he's made some strides there. He's very competitive, and he definitely is there every game. That's one thing I love about Emilio, is that he's always, you can count on him every game. He's going to come ready to play, and like he's spirited that way.
And with the production with Emilio in the season being a bit higher, even so, do you think that he has still managed to take his game more towards that consistency that you just talked about, in terms of showing up better as the season has progressed, even with lesser production?
Yep, I do, because it's the production is something that you can get caught up on, especially if you're someone in his shoes, in terms of what do what do your stats look like. I think the big thing is him understanding, the responsibilities that he has off of face-offs, the responsibilities he has in terms of how well he returns into his own zone and fulfills his role to help his team defend as a group, and understanding that, and that is something that has to be there every single time. Now he's still got a ways to go there, and we talk about that, but he's a guy that wants to learn and wants to get better. And usually his mistakes are mistakes of wanting it a little too much, trying a little too hard, maybe trying to help someone do their job. So those are ones you can live with, because it's not a situation where you're begging him to want it more. That's not the case. So that's a positive for him.
All right. Thank you.
Go ahead, Paige.
Hi, Cail. Is this one of those games where you kind of wish that you guys had capitalized on that early 5-on-3 in the game, or is it kind of one where you just look back and it is what it is?
Oh no, it's we talked about it as a staff. It's, you have to capitalize on 5-on-3s. You have to capitalize on them. So when you look back on the game, that's a big moment right there. We had some good looks. So we did some pretty good things, but you just have to find a way to score when you've got a minute and a half of a 5-on-3. So that's one that we regret in terms of being the difference, one of the differences in the game.
For sure. And then going into the last game of the season, what is kind of the message or the idea that the team's going to have for that one?
We haven't got there yet, but we certainly have been really cognizant of trying to make the most of this opportunity to play hockey. And we've looked at, these games here as a set, tried to approach them like a playoff series. And now we have to reset, and we have to approach this last game the way we've talked about it, multiple times over the last few weeks, is that we have to, we don't have the ability to look beyond Thursday. And we need to make sure that we absolutely appreciate the opportunity to be able to go out and compete again as a group, and do everything we can on Thursday to end it well. And so it's one of those where you got to have your mental focus, because it can be easy. You can get to the end of a road trip, you get to the end of the season, and you can lose focus. So we have to really bear down and make sure that we show up for each other and we play really hard.
Mhm. And to kind of switch gears here to more of a Flames question here. Obviously, being the coach, you see these players all the time. You see the movements that happen, the guys that have gone up to the taxi squad, the guys that maybe haven't. Have you felt that there's been some players that have kind of been overlooked in that regard?
No, I think it's tough to say that. I think guys have worked really hard. We've had ups and downs as a team and as individuals through the year. And some guys have gotten looks at taxi squad duties. Some guys have gotten in. You'd love for all of our guys to get those opportunities, all of our NHL guys. But there's circumstances, there's so many factors in play. I think that very happy for the guys that did get the opportunity. And, you know, there's still time to go here. So possibly we'll get more guys with more opportunities, and certainly want to make sure that the other side of it is we want to make sure they deserve it. Like they need to earn it, and they need to find a way to get up there, and then make the most of what they can.
For sure. Thanks, Cail.
Thank you.